Logan, you scoundrel, where are you? I'm looking for you, Logan. He ain't even gonna show. Muddy Waters got him running scared. How you doing there, partner? You hear about that showdown happening here in Tombstone this Saturday between that old smelly Ned Logan and that quick draw Muddy Waters?
Yeah, I did, but I don't think that Logan's gonna be able to take on that Muddy Waters.
Well, stay tuned. It's going to happen right here on Allen Street on Saturday. So I hear that old Ned Logan's coming into town, face Muddy Waters this weekend. What's your outtake on this big gunfight?
Muddy Waters is going to win.
He's fast, isn't he?
He's damn fast.
He's good looking too, isn't he?
Yes, he sure is.
All right. Well, that's all we wanted to know. Logan, you hear that? You smelly varmint, you Sodbuster, you come into town and see old Muddy. Well, I hate to bother you two gentlemen there, but have you guys hear about that showdown that's happening this Saturday between that smelly Ned Logan and that real handsome quick draw feller, that Muddy Waters?
I heard that Muddy Waters probably in town while he's got a chance. So if you see him, you might want him right now.
Well, I think Logan needs to worry about old Muddy Waters.
Muddy Waters better do some more training. Logan's bringing some help. It's all leaning his way is what I heard.
Well, I heard he's a back shooter too, and he needs help.
Doesn't matter as long as you win. If you walk away.
Well, you hear about that Muddy Waters, right? He likes hiding in the alleys. That's the only way he'll get you from behind.
Well, I heard old Muddy's got 2 guns though, so Ned Logan's bringing help because he's worried about those 2 guns.
Well, he's going to need more than 2 guns from what I hear, because the way I lay, he's cross-eyed as can be, and I mean, I hear he can't shoot straight.
Yeah, hey, can't hit no shooting real good.
So here we are in the gaudy cowgirl. This appears to be the owner, Carrie. And I just wanted to know, have you heard about that dang showdown that's going on in Tombstone on the streets this Saturday between that notorious Muddy Waters and that smelly varmint Ned Logan?
Oh, yeah. Ned better watch out. I heard that Muddy Waters pretty fast.
That's what I heard, too. I heard the Undertaker's already paid for that plot up there in Boot Hill with old Logan's name right on it already.
I think I heard that somewhere in the background.
Well, thank you. If y'all need any clothes, the gaudy cowgirl in Tombstone. We're in the gaudy cowgirl here, and we just come across these 2 hombres right here. You boys hear about that showdown happening in town between that notorious Muddy Waters and that scoundrel Ned Logan?
Definitely.
All right, what do you guys think that outcome's going to be? I'll ask you first.
It's Muddy Waters is he's pretty quick on the draw. He's pretty sharp. So it's but Ned, I wouldn't bet against him, wouldn't bet for him.
So if you had to put money on it, or let's just say we had to go down to the Undertaker, pay the Undertaker for a prepaid plot out there at Boot Hill, whose name we want on that tombstone?
It's not looking good for Ned. Not looking good. He's pretty quick.
What about you? What do you think?
And I'd have to say Muddy Waters.
See, with a man with a mustache like that,
The mustache.
he is definitely telling the truth right here.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's got a mustache
that
like
don't
this
lie.
feller does not lie. Yeah, gotta have the mustache. I think that's what Ned's got going against him too. He don't have a mustache. He's got some girly looking
But
thing.
Ned doesn't have a mustache?
No,
You
so
can't win with that. You can't even draw a pistol without a mustache.
yeah, he's more feminine.
I'm
I
not
think.
sure
than-
you can
than
even
the
carry the pistol without a mustache.
Well, thank you, boys. We'll see what the outcome is on this video. Well, come across a couple tourists in town. Hey, you hear about that big showdown happening in the streets between that notorious Muddy Waters and that Ned Logan happening in Tombstone this weekend?
I did. I've been looking everywhere for that Muddy Waters fella. You seen him?
I haven't seen him, but I heard he's already in town waiting for Logan. That's if Logan shows up. But what do you think the outcome's going to be? Who do you think's going to be standing at the end of that?
Boy, that's a tough call. You know, I seen that Muddy Waters fella. He could shoot with both hands. But I don't know. It'd definitely be worth it to come and watch it, though.
Logan's got a little bit of age and wisdom on him, though. Little wrinkles in his face, I think.
Well, yeah, it's that, but that doesn't count for the experience that old Muddy Waters got.
All
So,
right,
I don't
well,
know. I don't know. And you know what? It's hard to beat his mustache. He might get a little hypnotized by that in that whole gunfight.
that's right. Logan
So-
doesn't even have a mustache, I don't think. I don't think he can grow any facial hair. Anyways,
Ooh.
it all depends on what's going to happen. We'll see what happens in the streets of Tombstone. Well, come across this old scoundrel right here in town. Hey, you hear about that duel that's going on in town this weekend between that Muddy Waters and that Ned Logan feller?
You know, I heard something about some feller turned tail name doing. Is that the fella that's scared of Muddy Waters? That's the fella don't want to face him up like a man, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the guy we're talking
You
about.
know what I heard about his draw? They said his quick draw, but they said it wasn't that quick though.
Well, his wife says it's kind of quick.
Well, yeah, but the fella that watched him pull that thing said he could see the serial number on the back of that gun when he was pulling it out. So I don't think you got much to worry about there, Muddy.
So, just in your opinion, then, at the end of the day, what do you think is going to happen? Who's going to be laying in the street?
Well, I think Doolin's going to be having a trip in the old pine box. I don't think. it's gonna
Well,
be
rumor
Muddy.
has it that the old Undertaker said the lot's already been paid for and old Logan's name's on that tombstone.
Oh, well, then it's already ready for you. Come on down, Logan. He's got a house all set up.
Yes. Howdy there, partner. You hear about that showdown happening in the streets this weekend behind that smelly Ned Logan and that fast Muddy Waters? You hear about that?
Yeah, I heard.
What's your outtake on that? Who you think's going to be laying down in the street when the smoke clears?
I would never go up against Muddy Waters. He's pretty fast.
That's what everybody in town keeps saying.
And he's got the best mustache.
So did you hear about that showdown happening in the streets this weekend between that Notorious Muddy Waters and that Ned Logan?
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win this?
You'll do it. Muddy Waters.
Howdy, folks. I see you're hanging out in the hitching post. You're from Tombstone, right?
Yes.
Y'all hear about that scoundrel coming into town, that Ned Logan? There's some big showdown happening between old Logan and Muddy Waters this weekend in the streets. What do you think the outcome's going to be?
Muddy Waters.
I don't have an opinion.
That Muddy Waters awful handsome fella.
I'm gonna go Muddy Waters then. I like the handsome figure.
And he's also fast, right?
Yes.
And I heard he's got 2 guns, right?
Lightning fast. Lightning.
And he's good with either gun. He's
with either
ambidextrous, right?
Ambidextrous.
Well, thank you, folks. Stay tuned for the showdown in Tombstone between the Notorious Muddy Waters and the scoundrel Ned Logan. We're out here in the rail yards, come across this old cowpoke right here. You hear about the big showdown that's happened in the streets of Tombstone
I've
this
heard
weekend?
about this. It's
between
been building up.
Muddy Waters and that Notorious Ned Logan.
Ned Logan.
Yeah, what do you think the outcome's going to be?
Well, you know, isn't Doolin involved in that too?
Yeah, well, Doolin is Ned Logan. He changed his name because
Oh,
he's a
I see,
scallywag.
'cause- okay,
he hides.
right,
He hides in
right,
the alleyways.
I think I saw his wanted poster a couple times. You know what? It's going to be vicious. It's going to be bloody. But you know what? I think my money is on Muddy Waters.
Well, I think you're right because I was talking to the Undertaker today, and he said something about the plot was already played
Sizing
for.
them up.
The tombstone already had the name Ned Logan on it up in Boot Hill already. The hole's dug.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for Muddy to come up there and spread a little fertilizer
I
on
think
it.
he's going to chicken out.
I think it will.
I think he's chicken. I haven't been here all day. I haven't seen him. Where
All
you
right.
at? Where you at? Come on.
Time will tell. So, a lot of talk about this showdown happening in Tombstone. I don't know if Logan's going to come. Have you heard about this Logan, this Ned Logan, come to face Muddy Waters?
Muddy, he's fast, but Logan's coming, and he's bringing hell with him. I hope Muddy's got the willpower to go through.
Howdy, pard there. Have you heard about that showdown happening in the streets here this weekend between that old Ned Logan and Muddy Waters?
And I'm not sure if Logan stands a chance. I heard Muddy's pretty fast, you know.
Well, we appreciate it. Stand by. This going to be in the streets here this weekend, Saturday. Don't miss it. So here's the stagecoach tours here in Tombstone. Hey, you hear about that old showdown happening in town between that Notorious Muddy Waters and that Ned Logan?
I did hear something about
What do you think's going to happen with this event this weekend?
Well, they're both pretty quick, so I got $50 says they both shoot each other.
All right, so it sounds like they'll both be laying down at the end of the streets at the end of the day.
That's it. My money's on that.
Well, you know what? My money's on Muddy Waters because, you know, he rides that one wheel up and down the street. He may have the advantage on old Ned Logan.
Technology, right?
He might be able to sneak up on his back and shoot him in the back because I did hear he's a back shooter.
I put a 50 cal in the back of a Chinook.
We'll see if old Logan shows. All right, here we come into Ike's right here. We got the Ghost Tours Legends right here in Tombstone. Hey, feller, have you heard about that event that's happening this weekend between that Notorious Muddy Waters and that scoundrel Ned Logan? Have you heard anything about this showdown?
Actually, I have. Who do you think's going to win?
Well, that's what I come to ask you. I'm trying to get the thought around town, what people think, and who they think's going to be standing at the end of this showdown.
I know. I heard one uses real bullets, the other one shoots blank.
Which is which? Can you want to tell the folks at home what your opinion is and what you think the outcome's going to be?
Hey, that's what we have to find out. That's what makes it interesting.
All right, well, you heard it right from Wyatt Earp. Stay tuned. Wonder who's shooting blanks and wonder who's shooting bullets. Still gonna find out. Yeah, I just kind of ran into this feller here. You hear about that big showdown that's happening in Tombstone this weekend between that Notorious Muddy Waters and that varmint Ned Logan?
I did. I heard about it. I saw it on Facebook.
What do you think the turnout's going to be? What do you think the end result's going to be of this showdown?
Pretty interesting.
I heard something about the old Undertaker up there had a prepaid plot or something with old Logan's name right on that tombstone. So I don't know.
I heard that too. So good.
You think old Muddy Waters with his ambidextrous hands and those fast hands are going to take Logan, or you think Logan's going to stand tall at the end?
I think it's going to be a draw.
He thinks it's a draw. Well,
That's a safe answer.
here's an old fella right here. He seems to have a little bit of wisdom. What do you think about this event? Who do you think's going to be standing at the end of this showdown?
Probably Logan. You know my opinion.
All right. Well, there it is, right from the horse's mouth.